guys real quick. Just real quick. Walking back for the camera is always so humbling. Ooh, that was about to be even more humbling. Here she is in all her glory. Cue heaven noises. Okay guys, I'm very excited for this video. I asked you guys if you guys would want motorcycle videos and you all said yeah, so I'm taking your word for it. Is that a dead bird's feathers on my car? Oh my, I feel like the audio in here is gonna be really bad, so I'm trying to figure out a way. Voice memos, is that? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hello. I think it's working. I think I just have to keep it close to my mouth. I don't even know how to start this video. Like, motorcycle videos are not my niche at all, and obviously I'm a little bit nervous about changing up the content a little bit, and this doesn't mean I'm not going to be doing my other stuff still, but I do want to start integrating my motorcycle content into YouTube. So that's what we're doing. It actually makes me really happy that a lot of girlies have been asking, like, how'd you get started? Like, I want to get into riding, but I don't know this and I don't know that, and I don't know what I would need to do or what I would have, like, I don't know, basically how to get started. And it's all very valid, and I basically just wanted to make this video as like a safe space for the girlies or for the guys that just want to get into it and don't really know where to start, and to not be like embarrassed about asking questions, or because, you know, we all start somewhere. It's crazy to expect to like know everything right away, and you obviously learn as you go. And unfortunately, there are some people in the bike community that are gatekeepy, or like will kind of shame you for not knowing certain things. But let me just say after saying that, because that's kind of a crazy statement, is 99% of bikers I met are like the most amazing people ever. Obviously, like as new riders or people wanting to get started, you could feel like kind of embarrassed or intimidated by asking certain questions, maybe to the wrong people. So that's what this video is for. I'm honest, I'm on it. I have anxiety about one of my neighbors like walking out. So I made a very long list of things I wanted to make note of, for example. And I'm going to sum it up. Don't worry. I'm not going to be talking this much, or maybe I might. I don't know. A lot of people have been asking me how I even got started with motorcycles or why I wanted to start riding, blah, blah, blah. I've kind of always wanted to ride because when I was little, mainly elementary school, my dad would pick me up from elementary school on his motorcycle, and I would backpack him. And I always just felt like so cool and badass, and he just always rode and had different motorcycles growing up, and I always was like, I want that to be me. Like, one day I'm going to grow up and have a pink motorcycle and we're going to ride together. And it's just always been a dream of mine, and it was always on my to-do list, and I just never did it until this year. I was like, bitch, get the fuck up, like, go to the fucking DMV, take that course, like, damn. And I will say it is one of the best things I've ever done, and I'm extremely glad that I just went for it. My dad and I are actually riding together for the first time this Saturday, and I'm very excited for that. So maybe I'll vlog that. We'll see. What?
I'm gonna kill you, literally.
Why?
Because you're doing that on the freeway, cannot catch up.
What am I doing on the freeway? But yeah, especially when girls like ask me like how to get started, like blah, blah, blah. Like, it just makes me so happy because obviously like motorcycles are mainly like a male infiltrated, dominated space hobby, you know? And it just makes me so happy to see more women interested in doing it or wanting to get started. So if you're still on the fence of whether like you don't know if riding a motorcycle would be good for you or not, or if it's something you would even be able to do, you should definitely take the MSF course, which is the motorcycle safety course. I'm pretty sure it's like different in every state on how the classes go, but in California, mine was $400 for a 3-day class, and you learned everything. It was super worth it. Honestly, they taught me everything I needed to know about riding before I got a motorcycle. And you can always like pass or fail the course and decide if it's for you or not. And if you fail, go take it again. And yeah, but just at least take the course and see if it's something you vibe with, something you have fun doing, you know? So it's $400 for 3 days, but 2 of them were in person and 1 of them was online. So the first class was an online Zoom meeting, and I think it was like an hour to an hour and 30 minutes, maybe 2. Maybe even 3. I don't know. It was kind of a long Zoom call. I don't really remember, but we just basically went over the basics and what we were going to be doing over the next few days, learned some basic terms, skills, just like online, you know. The second day is the first day you actually are able to get on a motorcycle. So you get on, they teach you all the basics, all the controls, all the functions, everything. The third day, they teach you some practices, some maneuvers, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the day, you take a 60-question written test. And then you also take like a writing test of all the practices they made you do. And then you get scored out of that. If you pass the MSF course, you'll get a certificate in the mail that you're able to take to the DMV, basically stating that you finished and passed the course. And then from there, you just take your written test at the DMV, and then if you pass, you have your license. Congrats. And it's cool because if you take the MSF course, you don't have to take your DMV driving test, just the written test. So that's always a plus. Like, it's a little loophole because the DMV one is obviously probably harder. Let's say you take the course, you love it, you pass, right? And then you're like, okay, well, now I have my license. Now it's time for me to get the bike. Let me just say this. Do not let anybody bully you out of getting a starter bike. And by starter, I mean like somewhere between 300 to 450cc max. Like, some of my friends, like bigger guy friends, started on a 600, and I guess maybe that's more fitting for them just because like they're taller, they're bigger, you know. But even then, like, I still really wouldn't suggest that. Like, I have a Ninja 400. This is 400cc. And like sometimes like I'm still getting used to it. I think it's been like honestly only 3 to 4 months of me riding, but still, like, I have my moments where I'm like, oh, I want to upgrade. But honestly, I see myself having this bike for a really long time. She teaches me a lot. It's a good starter bike. Your first bike should always be like your first bike, your practice bike, you know. Just don't go for something like, do not go 600 to 1000cc right away without like having zero experience. Like, that's just crazy. Like, that is a death wish, babe. And what I mean by like, don't let people bully you out of getting a 400cc or like a starter bike or anything like that is because sometimes I will still get comments, and sometimes even from women. Like, actually, I just got into a TikTok argument the other day, actually, because these girls, I don't know, they had like beef with my friend, and I was defending my friend, and they were like, oh, like, you guys are all on 400s, like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. Starting on a higher cc just to like have quote unquote more respect that's not even real, don't do that. Don't do it. I don't think they make the Ninja 300 anymore. I could be very, very wrong. Don't quote me on that. But Ninja 300, Ninja 400, Yamaha R3, those are like the top 3 bikes I can think of right now that are good starter bikes. And be sure to like look into like the weight of the bikes, CC, like all that shit. And yeah, like, just really do your research. I did a lot of research on the Ninja 400 before I got it. So I knew that this bike was something I was capable of and something that I wouldn't get super bored of super quick, but also still like learn a lot on, you know. And then a lot of comments and DMs I get are girls being like, girl, I want to ride so bad, but I'm short and I don't know if I'll be able to reach. I don't know if like blah, 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 whatever. Like, just being worried about their height. Let me tell you, that is not an issue. I'm wearing platform Uggs right now, but I'm 5'1", and I can normally tippy-toe my bike normally. I'm going to put the mic down for a second, so hold on. Let me back up so you guys can see a little better. I can lean on one foot, I can lean on one foot, but I can't flat foot both at the same time. But I can't tippy-toe. That's another thing, is your coochie really hurts after a while. Nobody tells you. But yeah, I'm 5'1", and that's never really been an issue for me. If you're a lot shorter or you're really that worried about it, you can always get your bike lowered. I know that a lot of people say it's not super recommended because it can like fuck with the performance of the bike. I don't know how true that is, but I mean, it's always worth looking into and asking like your dealership or whoever you're getting your bike from, or the mechanic. What is this scratch? What is this? What the hell? But also, maybe you're taller than me and you still won't be able to reach. I feel like some like people's body proportions are different. Like, maybe you have shorter legs but a longer torso. I don't know. Just go to a dealership, sit on bikes, try them out, and then if you really, really love a bike but you can't reach, get it lowered. But also, you can just wear platform shoes. It's not super recommended because it can get stuck in between your shifter if the platform is too big. But I wear platforms most of the time and I've never had that problem ever. So just be careful at your own discretion. Another thing I want to say is do not go straight into it thinking you're going to be a pro rider right away. Like, do not get too cocky or you're gonna get humbled real quick. Just ride at your own pace. Like, ride your own ride. Like, you don't need to be doing crazy shit or top speeds right away. Like, just calm down. Like, ease into it. It's fine. Like, you're gonna have your moments where you're able to have fun with it and shit, but just be safe, bro. Like, it's really not worth it. Also, I would say some of like the main things you should practice before really like getting on the road: swerving, braking, and slow turns or maneuvers. Honestly, I say swerving number one, because in most scenarios where you think you need to brake, swerving can honestly save you. Like, braking might be more fatal to you than if you were to just swerve. So, as well as emergency braking. And then I say slow turns and maneuvers because obviously a bike is a lot harder to handle at slower speeds. And you would, like, when you first start, you would think the opposite, like, oh, it's easier if I'm going slower. No. Well, obviously it's not meant to go 20 miles per hour. Like, it's not a Lime scooter, you know, and it's heavy. So if you don't have good balance or like control of the bike at slow speeds, work on that. I keep playing with the gas tank because I'm fidgety and I have like nothing else to hold, and I'm just like, sorry if that's annoying. Also, something a lot of people say that I heavily agree with is ride like you're literally a ghost, like nobody can see you. And I don't mean in a sense of like speed demon, like ghost, like you're speeding so fast that nobody can see you. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, just pretend that nobody can see you at all times, because for the most part nobody really can. Like, you just have to like make sure, like, if they can't see you, they can hear you. If they can't hear you, they can see you, or both. Just do the most to increase visibility. Like, for example, this, I mainly just kind of want to show off my underglow, but this is really helpful at night for visibility. Safety is a big one, especially for my girls. And I don't mean motorcycle safety. I feel like I kind of skimmed over that enough, like past common sense. But I always leave with pepper spray on my motorcycle keys. Not just my house keys, but my motorcycle keys as well. It can get annoying sometimes, like it gets in the way sometimes, but I don't want there to be an instance where I'm like, fuck, I wish I hadn't taken that off my motorcycle keys. And it's just small things, like even just being like a girl on a bike. Like, even sometimes when I'm lane splitting and I get to the front and there's like a guy at the crosswalk, I'm like looking down at my pepper spray, like, I hope I don't need to use that. And like, I know a lot of guys who might be watching this or like, girl, you're doing too much, or like, relax. But like, no, seriously, like, as a woman, we have to think of things like that. And also, being in LA, I ride in LA, so it's like, you never know what type of people are around you, or, you know, it's just better safe than sorry. I pray to God that I never have to use it, but it's always good to have handy. And also, with safety, like, I want to say, making friends as a biker is so easy. Like, I've made so many amazing friends just from having a bike, or just like the motorcycle community of friends who also ride. And don't be shy to like go on rides with people. Like, it's so much fun. Like, I've honestly made some of my best friends from motorcycles and riding with them. But with that, I do want to say, be careful of who you ride with for two reasons: creeps and people who do not care about their life or yours. I'll get into it. There's just so much I want to say. Like, this is why I had to write bullet points down for myself, because I would literally just ramble, and I'll go on like 20. Yeah, see? Anyways, there's been certain environments or like certain groups I've been in where being a girl biker or a biker girl has been super uncomfortable. It's in certain situations, it kind of feels like throwing like a piece of steak into like shark infested water. The majority of bikers are like the most amazing people ever. But with that being said, like, people are still people. You can never be too at rest with bitches. Just because someone is a biker, just because they have helped you, just because you've rode with them, just because you've gone on a couple group rides, does not mean that they maybe are a good person or you should be around them alone. Especially as a girl, like, please be careful like meeting up with bikers online, which will probably inevitably happen when you're making motorcycle friends. Like, you find a mutual on Instagram who also rides, they have a sick bike, oh my gosh, we should go ride. Yes, but be careful who you're like meeting up with from online. Like, it's still online. stranger danger. Like, please, let's not forget. The guy with the 1000cc, the guy in the R1, the guy on the S1K, the guy on the Gixxer does not want to ride with you because he wants to be your friend. Like, he doesn't want to ride with you because he wants to go riding, especially if you're a beginner. Maybe if you guys are homies, have been to each other, yes, but I'm saying this more in terms of like, if you're a new biker girl and there's men in your DMs with big bikes and have like, especially if they have like years of experience, like they could just be riding with their homies, their usual riding friends, you know? They're not trying to ride with you to have fun, girl. They're trying to ride with you to smash. They don't want to ride with you. They want to smash. Which, if that's what you want, by all means, go for it. Like, have your little motorcycle Wattpad rendezvous, you know? Just be careful. I don't know. Like, if you meet someone and you vibe and that's where it goes, go for it. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes as a new rider, you can be so excited to make new friends that ride, and you're just excited to go ride with them, and they have completely separate intentions. Just be wary. To my girls, please, 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 please. Like truly, he has no business riding with you. Like, it's your third day out here. What other reasons are there? What is the reason? I also didn't really get a chance to touch on what I meant by they do not care about their life and yours. Like, obviously, I don't mean that literally. Like, I'm sure they care if they live or die as well as you. But I just mean in a sense, in some people will ride so crazy and have no regard for who's following or who's behind them, you know? And some people can potentially put you in really dangerous situations just because maybe you're not on the same skill level and they're not really going at your pace or matching you, or maybe they're just a crazy fucking rider. Like, yeah, some people don't put your safety in regard in group rides, so you really shouldn't just go on group rides with just anyone. Like, please. Lots of my friends rode alone, like, for the first 6 months, didn't have any biker friends. Like, it's fine to ride alone. Like, you're so good. Luckily for me, I made friends in my MSF course, and we're all at the same pace, same skill level, so it was easier for me in that way to find friends that way. But please, like, take precaution, please. I'm so worried about you guys. Like, as much as I love motorcycles and I want there to be more girls, like, it's so worrying. And I also have to live with the fact that, like, if someone does get inspired by me or motivated by me to go get a motorcycle and then something happens, like, the shit, like, I will not be okay. And so, like, please don't take any of this advice with a grain of salt. Like, really take it in and just, yeah, okay, on with the video. Another one I want to address, and you guys might call me a little bit of a hypocrite for this, but not really. I would like to defend myself here. Dress for the slide, not the ride. And what that means is wear your gear. It's not about looking cool. It's not about looking sexy. It's about being safe and being protected. And the only reason I'm saying you guys might call me a hypocrite is because there's a few videos of me riding without gear. And I will only say that when I do ride without gear, it's because I know the route that I'm going and I feel very comfortable riding that route. And those days that it was very, very hot. Yeah, and I would also like to say that wearing gear is an option. So while it is very necessary and it would probably save your life if anything minor happened, and just because I know those routes and I've been riding on them a million times doesn't mean that something might not be bound to happen, you know? You never know. So I definitely am taking the chance riding every time without gear, but that's the choice you're willing to make if you ride without gear, and that's up to you. And I don't think that riders who don't wear gear should be shamed for not wearing gear, but instead just pray for them, bro. Like, it's really fucked up actually, because if you go on like Instagram reels or TikToks of rollers of motorcycles or people just riding a lot, and like, let's say they don't have gear on, a lot of the comments will be like, oh, like, let him learn the hard way, or we'll see what she says when her skin is all gone. Like why though? Why would you say that? Like, why would you wish that upon someone? Like, some of the comments are really nasty and really horrid, and I feel like most of the people commenting that probably don't ride anyways, but I feel like as fellow riders, like, why would you ever say that to someone or about someone? Like, just pray that they're okay and that they have safe rides every time. And I really hope that nobody who doesn't wear gear has to learn the hard way, because that's really shitty and you shouldn't wish that upon someone ever. But yeah, gear, I will say, it's not embarrassing, it's not uncool. When I first started, I remember I was like I put my gear on and I was riding, and my friend took a video of me, and I was like, this was not the sleigh I envisioned. I think I have a picture somewhere. I was like, I literally look like a petite little boy. I was protected, I was safe, and that's really all that matters. But yeah, road rash is a thing. Skin peeling off is a thing. So just keep that in mind. I will say 98% of the time I ride, I am geared up. So I would just like to throw that out there. Also, trust your gut. Trust your gut, as for everything in life. But I feel like especially if this is one of your main hobbies, like for example, there'll be days where I'm like, I really, really want to go ride right now, but something in my gut will just tell me to stay home. Don't go riding right now. Maybe wait an hour and then you can go. And I will listen to it every time. And I just feel like every single time in my life, my gut has never failed me. Oh my gosh, are those raccoon footprints on my neighbor's car? Or a cat? Either way, I want to see him. But yeah, one thing I feel like everybody kind of does as a collective is heavily underestimate our intuition. And I just feel like with this is not something you can play with. Like, do not play with your intuition. Like, listen to that shit. If you feel like something might go wrong, stay home. This is actually like a point my friend brought up when I told her I was filming this video. She was like, you should mention to trust your gut. And she was like, yeah, like the morning of my really bad accident, like I had like a really bad feeling that I was gonna go down that day, and I did, and I should have like listened to my gut and stayed home. So I want to like, I feel like humans in general have really great intuition, but especially women, like, please tune into that shit. Listen to it for real. If one thing the universe has tried to teach me is listen to my fucking intuition. And I also want to say, if there's anything I didn't cover or any other questions you guys have, just put them in the comments. I would be so happy to make more motorcycle videos. If you guys liked this one, let me know. I can deliver way more. I'm just honestly scared of like making new content on YouTube, but I don't know. But yeah, I feel like for this next point, I should get like up close and personal because it's a little more serious. Riding has severely improved my life, like in every aspect, like mental health up. But I will say, while it is a form of therapy for me, it is not my therapist, and I still indulge in other activities and hobbies and people that bring me serotonin or that dopamine release, you know? It can get addicting, and the adrenaline high can be dangerous because you can start getting it so much to where nothing... Oh my gosh, nothing else brings you joy. Guys, my camera just died. Fuck. What do I do? I'm gonna go finish this video upstairs. Hold on, guys. Mango wants to be in the video too. Hi. Maybe it is better that we moved inside, because I feel like for this portion of what I want to talk about, it should be a little more face to face. So as I was saying, the adrenaline high you get from it can be a little dangerous because nothing else is really comparable to it. I can't explain it. Like, the adrenaline you get from riding a motorcycle, it's like the most in control of your life you feel. And I don't think you can really get that feeling from anything else. So while it is super fun, I think it is still important to have other hobbies, like spend time with your family and friends, like for real. Like, find other things you like doing besides riding, or else that's, I don't know, like, as much as I love it, like that is my number one hobby, like passion at the moment in life, but I also recognize the dangers of being addicted to it, and it is a very real thing. So also, a lot of people on TikTok or just people, this fucking love bites hurt so bad, bro. People will romanticize death a lot on a motorcycle, and just don't do that. Don't speak it into existence. The point of riding is to live, to feel free, not to die or to want to die. Like, the last thing you should want to die from is a motorcycle accident. Like, that is fatal, that is brutal. Do not speak it into existence. And with that being said, I do want to say, like, while I love my motorcycle so much, while it is so much fun, genuinely one of my favorite things in the world, it is basically a big toy. And every time you get on it, you have to accept that that might be your last one. God forbid, you know? You never know when your last ride is going to be, no matter how safe, no matter how careful you ride. It could be someone else's mistake, and it could cost you your life, you know? So that is something to keep in mind, that you kind of, like, there's a difference between accepting what could happen versus romanticizing it, you know, or being so obsessed with the idea that it could happen that it consumes you. And that's why it's so important to take like the extra precautions, like take the safety course, learn more about it, like read your owner's manual, wear your gear, ride your own ride, like just don't ride with idiots. Also, I highly recommend getting like a GoPro chin mount or an Insta360 on your bike or something like that, so you can record your rides just in case like anything does happen, you have proof of it. Or sometimes like people will just be assholes. Like a lot of people have animosity towards bikers on the road, and you just have to be really careful. Like shitty people like that do exist. Like if you just watch videos, like you just spend like an hour scrolling through motorcycle videos, you'll find like at least 5 videos of people trying to run bikers off the road, or just, I don't know. And especially like with insurance claims, they do not believe the biker most of the time. So just ride your own ride for real. And I also would like to end the video with saying, please take your time in learning, researching. Like your life literally depends on it. No matter how excited you are to jump into it and get a motorcycle right away, like just wait a little bit, as much as like until you feel confident that you, I don't know, just until you're feeling some level of confidence. Like it can be exciting. I know it can be so exciting. Like I will never forget the day I got my motorcycle. Like I think that was genuinely the most pure joy I've ever felt in my entire life in one day. Like I know, I get it, but please be safe, please be careful. And with that being said, I hope that this video was informative enough. I kind of wanted to like go over mainly like questions that I get asked a lot, rather than like how to ride a motorcycle or like basics or like controls of a motorcycle, you know. And if that's like something you guys want to see, by all means let me know. But yeah, I hope this answered a lot of your questions, and I'm hoping to see a lot of my girlies on the road, or boys or gentlemen. Yeah, ride safe guys, I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.